4.5 billion people traveled the world last year by air. That's incredible. That's half of our planet went on some form of air transportation, okay? Most of that was for business or for pleasure, maybe going on a vacation, going to visit family, things like that. The majority of it was on an airline, okay? I'm gonna talk about a smaller segment today. I'm going to talk about the people that traveled by helicopter, but even more specifically because the people that traveled by helicopter last year is a fraction of those 4.5 billion people, okay? A tiny fraction. I'm going to talk about a smaller demographic. I'm going to talk about the people that flew those helicopters, the pilots that flew those helicopters, okay? Why do people fly helicopters? That's the question. I think it makes sense why people fly in an airline. There's a purpose to it, right? It's just purpose driven. I have to get to this location, so I'm gonna hop on an airline and I'm gonna get there. It's fast, it's efficient. That makes perfect sense to me. It's a little bit more nuanced as to why people choose to fly a helicopter, be the pilot of a helicopter. That's what I wanna talk about today. I sent a message out last night. I was laying in bed, I was trying to go to sleep, and I was like, I've got this idea that I can't go to sleep until I send this out. So I sent out a group message to our alumni of BC Helicopters, our past students that are now pilots that are flying in the industry, in the helicopter industry. And the question was this: I'd love it if you guys could take 5 minutes and drill down to the core of why you chose to fly a helicopter. What is it inside you, deep down inside somewhere, that chose to fly a helicopter? Think about that for 5 minutes and then just shoot me a message back, okay? Do you guys want to hear some of the responses? This blew my mind. I woke up this morning and the responses started flowing in, and I'm going to share a few of them with you. I think they're profound, and I think you're going to find the same thing, okay? Here it goes. It represented the biggest challenge I could think of in terms of learning a new skill, and the most worthwhile. For me, flying a helicopter is a metaphor for life. And the ingredients of being a good pilot, like discipline, dedication, learning mindset, cautious, courageous, situational awareness, are all keys to becoming a well-rounded person. In other words, helicopter flying is the martial arts of aviation. That's from Thor. Thanks, Thor. Flying is liberating. There's a freedom and a peace in the air that can't quite be found in any other place. It gives you a new perspective on everything. Thanks, Mabel. In a word, freedom. What's the definition of freedom? Freedom is the ability to choose and will. You can choose to go in any direction, up, down, left, right, forwards, backwards. It's your choice. You can even choose to hold still. I love that. It's unlike any other form of flight. Helicopters use the laws of physics in a way that seems to defy them. The liftoff is magical, smooth, and exhilarating. Thanks, Rick. It's something that requires such skill and demands your mental presence at all times. A way to be mindful and there in the moment, in the air. It elevates you literally and metaphorically as a person. And if you're ambitious about it, it requires you to adopt healthy habits and grow into something great. Thanks, Sarun. Seeing the world from a perspective that not many others have the opportunity to, even once, and we get to enjoy it day in and day out. And the friends you make along the way, who all have the same passion for doing something that they love, isn't found in many careers. I love that, Dalton. Thanks a lot. It's the thrill of being in command of a machine and the mechanical elements behind it. The one that initiates that turbine and the harness powered in it. Being at one with it and building the relationship with the controls like an extension of yourself and the responsibility that entails. Learning to always seek to the point where it's no longer controlling you, but you're controlling it. Thanks, Simon. After having many 9-to-5 jobs where I've been mostly stuck inside, in the same place, day in and day out, flying allows me to break free and really explore the world around me in a way that no other career could. Thanks, Nick. Not only is it a magical and freeing feeling, being able to basically go anywhere and see anything in a whole new perspective and appreciation of the earth, but I think my favorite part of flying is being able to share it with others. You may see the same peak or the city skyline or waterfalls or giant rock faces. Basically, everything is better from the air all the time. But you can always relive seeing it for the first time through your passengers. I always love the energy in the questions. Thanks, Kyle. You guys see a common theme here. Flying a helicopter, as I go through these, it kind of gives me goosebumps as I read them, because they're all basically verbalizing the things that I feel every day and the reason that I got into flying helicopters to begin with. The common thread is this is a passion project. People do this because it's something that they get exhilaration from. It's something that they truly feel passionate about. When you're doing something, I know the term and the word passion gets thrown around way too often, but when you're truly doing something that gets you excited and gets you jumping out of bed in the morning, it's an incredible, exhilarating feeling. We hear these kind of words in these comments from these pilots that are out there flying. It's an exhilarating feeling, and I think that's something that really is hard to match. This goes for all different facets of life, okay? So this video isn't only about flying helicopters, because as I said before, a fraction of percent of people are actually going to be the one in control to fly a helicopter. But I think this concept can ring true in all different areas of your life, all right? If there's something that you feel like these types of words have inspired in you, that you're going to be excited to jump out of bed and wake up in the morning because of these types of reasons, then you found something that truly, truly sets you on fire. And there's nothing better than that. And I love the last comment from Kyle where he says, you know, he's kind of gotten to a point where he's flown and he loves the flying and it's incredible and it's amazing. But now to be able to take that and share it with somebody else, to reignite that spark that he initially had in somebody else, because you can look at somebody's face when they're flying for the first time and they just light up, and it's just this new exhilaration that they have, and it reignites all those feelings that you had when you first took flight. I remember that moment when you first lift off the ground when I was 16 years old. That Jet Ranger fired up, and you hear the turbine spooling and everything, and within moments it seemed like to me that helicopter was airborne and it was standing still. Going back to that comment earlier from Rick, I love that moment where he says, you can even choose to hold still. And there's a beauty of that, because it's true in helicopters. You can hover the helicopter and you can hold still and you can sit there in that moment, but it's true in life as well, where we can stop, where we can take a second, we can listen, let it be silent, and we can hold still, and we can feel that feeling of contentment and fulfillment in what we're doing, okay? If you guys don't have this, if this is something that you think, yeah, that's great, it would be really, really nice to have that, but I don't have that, I would encourage you to just take a baby step to find something, okay? You're not going to just wake up one morning and go, that's it, I found it, this is what I'm supposed to do, guys, this is my passion, this is my life calling. It's not going to happen like that. If you're in the shoes where you're thinking, man, I am in that stuck in 9-to-5 job, I'm inside, it's the same thing, the same repetition every day, I would encourage you, take one small step. I don't care if it's 5 minutes of walking. I don't care if it's listening to a podcast that inspires you, and then you take a little step of action in that direction. Okay, it doesn't really matter what it is. Take a little step today. Take another step tomorrow. Take another step after that. What's going to happen? You're going to find in your life. It may take 3 months. It may take 3 years. It may take 30 years. It really doesn't matter how long it takes. It's the journey that you're going to work towards. If you're taking a step every day towards something that gives you a little bit of pleasure, and you try it and it doesn't work, try something else. Okay? Take some steps in another direction and see if that gives you pleasure. And if it does, pursue it some more. And if you find out that it stopped giving you pleasure, stop. Try something new, all right? But every day, take a step in a direction that gives you just the little tiniest bit of pleasure. And if that starts to foster, if that starts to grow, if you start to feel the excitement from that, continue to fuel that flame, right? And the people that I've read here today, they fueled the flame with some avgas and some jet fuel, and they continue to fuel it because they felt enough inside them that they were going to take the leap and say, you know what, I think helicopters is the thing for me. They took the leap, they did an introductory flight, they said, yeah, this is it. They signed up for flight school, they went through the training, and now they're out there. And is it easy? No. I'm gonna do another video about what the life of a helicopter pilot is actually like, but it's not easy, you guys, and that's the reality of it. Becoming a helicopter pilot, like so many other things in life, has challenges, milestones, stepping stones that you have to take. You're going to get beaten down. You're going to have refusals. You're going to have all kinds of bad things happen to you. We're in a situation in this world right now where bad things are happening to people and they're struggling and they're suffering. That's the reality of life. We've seen it on a global scale at the moment right now, but when we're trying to go in a new direction, when we're trying to do something new in our lives, there's going to be roadblocks, there's going to be challenges. But the beauty is none of those things actually matter that much at the end, as long as you can stay focused on the goal. And here's the goal, guys. The things that I read right now, just a few minutes ago, that's the goal, because these people had something burning inside them that said, you know what, I'm not going to quiet this down. I'm going to let this song, I'm going to let this flame burn up full steam, and I'm going to pursue it with all that I have, okay? That's exciting to me. That's so exciting to me. I want to hear from you guys. If you guys are one of the people that has something like that, it could be helicopters, that would be amazing. It could be anything else in life. There's something that just absolutely fires you up and gets you going every morning. I want to hear about it. Just take 2 seconds, leave a comment below, tell me what it is, share it with the community, because the community's watching this. They're all reading these comments. Share it down below in the comments and let me know what it is that fires you up and gets you up in the morning. If it is helicopters, tell me what you're doing. Tell me what job it is that you're doing that's actually getting you fired up every morning, okay? That would be amazing. Share this video, you guys. Give it a thumbs up. We're going to talk to you guys on the next one. Thanks for listening. Bye.